Today on the Bandrew Says podcast, we'll be discussing YouTube stealing YouTube content creators' revenue and not sharing a single dime, and a whole lot more, so go ahead and stick around. Let's start by talking about YouTube's change to their terms of service, which is allowing them to advertise on pretty much all videos on the platform and not requiring them to share the revenue from those advertisements with all of the creators. This stems from an email that went out this last week informing everybody that there was a change to the terms of service, and the email read as follows. You're receiving this email because we're updating the YouTube terms of service to clarify our terms and provide transparency to our users. These changes shouldn't significantly alter your access or use of the YouTube service. A summary of the changes. Facial recognition restrictions. The terms of service already state that you cannot collect any information that might identify a person without their permission. While this has always included facial recognition information, the new terms make that explicitly clear. YouTube's right to monetize. YouTube has the right to monetize all content on the platform, and ads may appear on videos from channels not in the YouTube Partner Program. Royalty payments and tax withholding. For creators entitled to revenue payments, such payments will be treated as royalties from a U.S. tax perspective, and Google will withhold taxes where required by law. Please make sure you read the updated terms carefully. The new terms will take effect on the 18th of November 2020 for users in the U.S., and similar changes to our terms of service will be made outside the U.S. in 2021. By continuing to use YouTube after this date, you are agreeing to the new terms. If you would like more information, visit our help center. Please note, if you allow your child to use YouTube Kids, then you are agreeing to the new terms on behalf of your child as well. And there is one section of that email that led to the entire YouTube community freaking out, lighting their hair on fire, and screaming at YouTube support on Twitter, and you guessed it, that is the YouTube's right to monetize section. I went ahead and pulled up a blog post that explains each of these changes a bit more in depth, and here is the paragraph that explains the right to monetize. Ads can now appear on videos from channels not in the YouTube Partner Program, and we will begin gradually placing ads on brand-safe videos. This is part of our ongoing investments in new solutions like home feed ads that help advertisers responsibly tap into the full scale of YouTube to connect with their audience and grow their businesses. Advertisers will continue to have full access to our brand suitability controls. Over the past 3 years, we improved our ability to identify appropriate placements for advertisers, in part by working closely with our advertising partners and industry organizations. Because these channels are not in the YPP, YouTube Partner Program, there is no creator revenue share, but creators can still apply to YPP once they hit the eligibility criteria, which remains the same. And that last sentence is what led to everybody freaking the F out. Let me read it again. Because these channels are not in the YouTube Partner Program, there is no creator revenue share. If there is an ad on your video and you are not in YPP, you are not getting any of that money. You are not getting out of that money, any of that money. Let me read the requirements to get into YPP, YouTube Partner Program. First, you have to follow all the YouTube monetization policies. You get it. You must live in a country or region where the YouTube Partner Program is available, obviously. Here is the actual criteria. You have to have more than 4,000 valid public watch hours in the last 12 months, have more than 1,000 subscribers, and have a linked AdSense account. I'm going to come right out and say it. I think this is absolutely disgusting and reprehensible behavior, and I cannot believe that YouTube would dare try to earn money off of the videos that they are hosting on their platform. Because of this, I am advocating that everybody strike, everybody fight against the system that is holding them down, everybody fight against YouTube. And I have made a list of what you need to do to successfully fight against YouTube. And I hope everybody who is as angry about this as I am will join in doing this. Here is what I recommend you do. Get a domain, get a website, pay for a license for a video player that rolls out constant updates for compatibility and features, pay for hosting space, pay for bandwidth costs, pay an ad selling team to sell advertisements on your video, pay a developer to make code to dynamically insert advertisements and develop an auction system for online advertisement sales, Pay for an SEO expert that ensures your videos are discovered by getting them ranked highly in search results across all search engines. Pay for advertisements on other websites of people who are fighting the system like this, so that when someone is watching another video, they see a promotion of your video as well. And once you and I have done this and we have spent all of this upfront money to develop these platforms that we have and advertise and get our videos in front of people, then we will be successfully fighting against the tyranny that is YouTube offering us this free service to host all of the video content that we want. And how dare they, at any point in time, wish to make money off of the services that they are providing. That is disgusting and reprehensible behavior. I cannot say it enough. But actually at the same time, I guess I shouldn't be mad at them because it's a private platform, right? YouTube is a private platform. I'm so torn. Should I be angry that this company is giving me all of these services for free? Or should I be okay with it because it's a private platform? Or do I only care that it's a private platform when they're banning stuff that I don't like, that I think should be banned? But when they try to earn money, that's when it's a problem. Okay, I think I get it. I have also seen a load of people saying that YouTube needs a competitor now. YouTube needs a competitor yesterday. And here's the thing. YouTube has plenty of competition. YouTube has plenty of competitors. The issue is, none of those competitors have a fair shot because they have different terms of service, they have a different approach to hosting and moderation, and that leads to them automatically getting labeled a white nationalist Nazi safe haven where they are advocating for violence and they're Trump-loving scumbag. They don't get a fair shake. They automatically get labeled that. It's almost like people do not want a YouTube competitor that does things different than YouTube, because that's what we have. We have competition to YouTube. People just don't like that competition to YouTube. What people really want is a YouTube 2 that is the exact same thing as YouTube today, but they make the changes that each individual wants. They want a YouTube 2, 3, 4, 7 billion. They want an individualized YouTube that fits all of their desires with no alterations based on anybody else's input. That seems to be what people want. Ban this person because private platform, but don't monetize this because it's my money. It's my money. I have the right to that money. It's no longer private or is it? I don't know. I'm so confused. I don't know what's happening. But in all seriousness, I do somewhat understand why people are at least confused by this, because originally when YouTube rolled out, you had no option for monetization. There wasn't a YouTube partner program. You could not run ads on your videos. Then they started to bring people into YPP. You had to be invited. It was a long process. You had to get approved, and then you could start to have ads placed on your content. And then it changed to the point where it was very easy to become a YouTube partner. I can't remember the exact criteria. I think it was 10,000 watch minutes, and that was it. And that led to a lot of issues because a lot of advertisements were placed next to less than savory content. And idiots on the internet automatically thought, well, I guess because that advertisement is next to that video, that means that the company that is advertising supports every single idea that is in this video. But regardless of the legitimacy of that thought process, that led to the YouTube Adpocalypse 1 and 2, where advertisers pulled their budgets from YouTube because they didn't want to get labeled as supporting some crazy ideas, and YouTube had to make changes to the YPP, the access to YPP, and now it is the 1,000 subs, 4,000 watch hours. They assume that once you have met those criteria, you will be acclimated to what is allowed on YouTube and understand what you need to do to remain on the platform and be advertiser friendly. And now that they have solved those issues with advertisements being on controversial videos, it seems like now they are going back to putting advertisements on pretty much every single video, or having the ability to put advertisements on every single video, and that is going to lead to a higher likelihood of those advertisements being placed on controversial content. I think The answer to that is directly in the paragraph in their blog post. Again, I will repeat this. It states, advertisers will continue to have full access to our brand suitability controls. Over the past 3 years, we improved our ability to identify appropriate placements for advertisements, in part by working closely with our advertising partners and industry organizations. Wow, it's almost as though YouTube has a seemingly infinite data set to pull from and learn from and train their algorithms from. It seems as though they have done their due diligence over the last couple of years of everybody losing their damn mind when they see an advertisement on a video. They have learned from that, trained their algorithms and their advertisement placements, and spoke to their advertisers directly to determine, what are you okay with your ad showing up next to? You don't want that? Okay, let's tell the algorithm not to put ads next to that. It seems like they have done everything that is needed to be done to ensure that advertisers have faith in the system again. I am sure there will be screw-ups. I'm sure there will inevitably be hit pieces written, oh my god, YouTube had an advertisement next to this? Does that mean that Coca-Cola supports this? There will inevitably be that. That will never end. But who knows when that will happen. When we come to that bridge, we can burn it. Let's talk about how this will affect you. And to be blunt, it is too early to tell. We do not know how many videos YouTube will put advertisements on. And most importantly, we don't know how many advertisements YouTube will put on each monetized video. If they just put a pre-roll, a single pre-roll that is skippable, I see no issue. But if they put 5 mid-rolls in a 5-minute video, that will be a severe negative impact on the viewing experience and the content creator's experience. On the other hand, if you're awesome like me and you have YouTube Premium, you pay YouTube every single month, this will not affect your viewing experience because you don't see ads. Or if you're one of those folks who loves ad blockers and you don't want to support the content that you enjoy, that people put in their hard work for, then this won't affect you either because you don't see ads. And I know some folks are truly angry. They feel legitimately wronged because they are seeing this as, oh my gosh, YouTube is making money off of my hard work and they're not sharing that revenue with me. This is criminal. This is wage theft. I understand that thought and I understand that anger. And this is, you're not going to like hearing this. Let me remind you, YouTube did not ask you to upload to their platform. YouTube did not come to you and say, hey, Joe, I would love for you to make videos for me on this platform, upload your content, we'll host it, and we'll put ads on it, but we won't pay you at all. That's not what happened. People see YouTube exists and decide, I'm going to upload to that. Simply uploading to YouTube does not give you the right to any kind of revenue that YouTube makes off of your content. That is not the deal. If I were to walk into a building, an office building, go to the janitor closet, take out a mop and bucket, and start mopping and cleaning up, I have no right to get angry at the office building manager for not paying me. I was not hired. I have no right to be paid for work that nobody asked me to do. You can absolutely get to a point where people say, I see this person doing work, let's hire them, let's start paying them because we want them to do that work more. We want to see them continue to do that work because they're doing so well. But just doing that work does not automatically mean that you deserve to be paid unless somebody hires you to do it. YouTube is not hiring you when you create an account and say, I am going to film a video of a dog taking a dump and upload it. That is not work. That is not you being hired. That is you utilizing the free services of YouTube. And I know that people have been saying and will continue to say till the end of YouTube that YouTube relies on creators. If it wasn't for creators, YouTube wouldn't have anything to monetize. And guess what? That is 100% correct. That is absolutely accurate. If there were no creators uploading to YouTube, YouTube would be unable to monetize anything because there would not be any content to monetize. Yet if you stop uploading to YouTube to fight the system, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, there will still be millions of people who upload to YouTube on a regular basis. Why is that? Because people unknowingly do a cost-benefit analysis in their mind. They think, I have this video on my phone, I want to share it with my friends, how can I do that? I could pay for hosting sites, I could pay for bandwidth, I could pay for a license for a video player, I could pay for all of these services and then share it with my friends. Or I could upload to YouTube for free. It costs me nothing, and I just get to click that share button and I know it's going to work. You also have all of the creative types who realize what a good opportunity YouTube truly is, assuming you're not controversial. You have people like PewDiePie who went through a rough patch. You got Jacksepticeye. You got all the watch channels, the Time Teller, Teddy Baldessar, Just One More Watch, all of them who are growing and getting in front of new people on a daily basis. And getting in front of new people doesn't cost them a single dime. And as a creative person, somebody who wants to make videos and get them in front of people, what other option do you have? You could upload to Facebook, but if you have a page on Facebook, if you want to get your content in front of the people who follow your page, you have to give Facebook money. Here, Facebook, here's $5. Please, for the love of the few things good and holy in this world, show the content to the people who followed me because they want to see the content that I make. What? YouTube doesn't do that. They will actively show your videos to new people without it costing you a single dime. You could also upload to alt-tech video hosting platforms. Nobody's stopping you, but guess what they don't have? They don't have the same critical user base. They don't have billions of users. They also don't have the same algorithms that get videos in front of people who actually want to watch those specific videos. I can say with 100% certainty, if I did not upload my mic reviews to YouTube, people would not know who I was because I would be uploading them to my website, and chances are nobody would find them. But YouTube finds people who are interested in microphones. They learn that about them through their creepy algorithm, and then they say, hey, this channel talks about microphones a lot. Let's recommend this video because other people who like microphones click on this. So I bet you, because you like microphones, will click on this. Oh, this person likes video games? Here's a video about video games. Click on it. That's an amazing proposition. That is an amazing opportunity. So because of that cost-benefit analysis, the cost being nothing to you because you are getting all of this for free, the benefit being you could get viral, you could go viral, you could gain a massive audience. That is a pretty good deal. The only thing that you have to give up is you have to deal with YouTube stumbling around in the dark trying to figure out what the hell they're doing because they do make mistakes. They are a massive corporation that makes mistakes, but don't forget, it's free for us. It is free for us, and it's a pretty damn good service. It's a pretty damn good service. And that's really all I have to say on the topic. I am sure that I am going to get angry comments from people because I took YouTube's side by saying that I think YouTube has the right to earn revenue off of the services that they provide because that revenue will help ensure that YouTube is able to continue to exist and going to be able to continue to offer those free services for all of us. What a controversial take. Does it suck that some people aren't going to earn money off of YouTube for a couple of months? Sure. If you have a viral video, guess what? You will be able to join YPP in a week probably, once your video goes viral. You lost maybe $100. That sucks. It does. And it also sucks that people feel as though they are putting in all this work and they are not getting compensated for that. That is never a good feeling. And I am going to say it again. I know this sucks to hear as well. Nobody is asking you to do that work. You can put in the work because you're passionate about it. And that is what a lot of people ought to be doing on YouTube. I started making videos about microphones because I'm passionate about it. I started making videos talking about creator news because I'm passionate about it. I don't make much money off of this. I earn like $10 a month. I put in 40 hours every single month on this podcast for $10. That is a terrible value proposition, but I do it because I'm passionate about it. If I earned nothing off of this channel, I would still continue to make videos on YouTube talking about creator news because I enjoy doing it. If YouTube said you're demonetized because you talk about controversial stuff, cool. I don't earn that $10 every month. I guess what I'm asking is before you scream about YouTube being the worst platform since, I don't know, Hitler, why don't you think, what do I get out of YouTube? What am I getting from YouTube as a service for free? What would that service cost if I were to buy it and develop it myself? And then think, hey, maybe I don't deserve to earn that $20 over the month. And then once I hit a threshold, then I can earn that $20 a month. I don't know. That's my controversial take, my private platform. I will link the YouTube blog down below if you want to read a little bit more about it. Also, as far as the taxes, good, take them. That's the last thing I want to worry about. When I get a check from YouTube or a direct deposit, I don't want to think, okay, let me move this much over to this other account, and then Uncle Sam will take it in a year. I don't want to think about that. Just take it out of my paycheck, deal with it, and then Uncle Sam can give it back to me if they want. I don't care. I don't want to think about it. I'll link the YouTube blog post. And that is it for the news. Let's jump to what you had to say. And the first comment comes from iBerts. He says, dude, now I know how to do chapter markers because of you. Thank you. iBerts, aka Al, thank you very much for the comment. I did not include this comment for any other reason other than to plug Al, iBerts, IBERTZ or BERTZ, depending on where you are. Go check him out. Amazing YouTuber. If you're looking for tech reviews, does a lot of cool stuff. He did a best 10 apps on Android for a decade, pretty much. Go check out his channel. He's a great dude. And he is somebody who likes aliens more than me. So go check him out. Go support him, Al. You're a legend. Appreciate you, bud. Next, we have a comment from Penty. They say, I miss the popular YouTuber Will Smith. Penty, I could not agree with you more. I miss popular YouTuber Will Smith more than anybody. I miss all of the I miss popular YouTuber Brie Larson. And who else was there? I don't know. There's only one celebrity who has done YouTube properly, and that is Jack Black. And it's because I don't think Jack Black started the YouTube channel to function as a marketing ploy. I think he started it because his son probably came to him and said, hey, Dad, let's make a YouTube channel. And he and his son seem to still be making YouTube videos together. And it has that charm. It has that YouTube grit to it. It is not perfectly polished. It's goofy. It is weird because Jack Black is goofy and weird. His son seems to be goofy and weird. And it is exactly what YouTube was made for. People making videos that they want to make. And that is why I think Jack Black did it right. And why I will continue to miss popular YouTuber Will Smith and Jimmy Fallon and James Corden and all of them. Next, we have a comment from Peter, and he says, hi, I'm an acoustic designer. I have a few things to say. First, if you can afford literally anything else, do not get foam. It will in many cases make your room sound worse. The problem is audio is energy bouncing around your room, and different frequencies have different pressures. A high frequency is a low pressure, and a low frequency is a high pressure. When you need to stop acoustic energy is to have it bump into something that will bend and absorb the pressure, soft materials. The more mass the material has, the better it will be at absorbing high pressure, low frequencies. Materials like foam that have a low density are great at absorbing high frequencies, but are absolutely terrible at absorbing low frequencies. What this does is make your room sound dark and boomy. What you should do if you are on a budget is make your own panels from Roxol mineral wool, ROXOL mineral wool. This will sound worlds better. There you go. This is in response to a comment last week or 2 weeks ago about acoustic panels, what to get when you're on a budget. This is directly from an acoustic designer. If we're going to trust Peter, that is advice that I have heard from many people. Roxol mineral wool. I can't remember the other stuff. There's Oren's Koning 1230, I don't know, look it up. Oren's Koning, I think it is. Booth Junkie and I think Soundspeeds did a video on it. I think Ray Ortega did a video on it. There are plenty of videos online about making acoustic panels yourself, DIY, for significantly cheaper than buying stuff that is pre-made to actually function properly. Thank you very much, Peter. I appreciate you for sharing your expertise. Hopefully that helps whoever is looking for affordable acoustic paneling. Now let's jump to my favorite part of the show, the Ask Bandrew segment. Alrighty, welcome to the Ask Bandrew segment. If you have any questions that you want answered, head over to askbandrew.com. There are instructions on how to send in audio, video, and text-based questions. I do love me some audio questions because then I don't have to read. I suck at reading. I am a big dumb idiot boy and I don't know how to read anymore. I can't pay attention to read anymore. We have a bunch of voice submissions this week, and I love that. First, let's go to a musical submission.
Hi, Bandrew. I'm a hobbyist rapper. Thanks, you helped me a lot on this chapter. I bought a Rode NT1 and I'm having plenty of fun. But I do have a quandary. I got a blue Icicle on me. All the reviews were rather old. Yours was 4 years ago. Amazon had nothing cheaper, and I'm saving up for speakers. I don't need bells and whistles, just need the power and gain, so I can send lyrical missiles out along the airwaves. So Bandrew, how do I sound? I really hope the noise ain't too loud.
Thank you very much for that amazing rap, amazing musical submission. I love the musical submissions. We've had one in the past, and I 100% advocate for more musical submissions in the future. How do you sound? I think you sound great. I hear no issues with noise. I think that's a great sounding recording. Throw that over a beat, do some mixing, do some compression, EQ, all of that stuff. I think you'll be golden and you'll make some great sounding recordings. Thank you very much for the amazing voice submission. Sorry I don't have anything else to say. I think that is a very good sound. Well done. We have another voice submission from a noisy computer boy. Take it away, noisy computer boy.
Hey Bandrew, I recently got a new computer, and ever since I got it, I've been having audio problems with it. Most of them have been solved, but there is one that has stayed present throughout the weeks. A hiss. I didn't change microphone, I'm using the same settings, and I'm sending the microphone 48 volts, so I'm confused. I've had to set up my old computer anytime I want to record audio because of this problem. Do you have any solutions? By the way, it's an Audio-Technica AT2020, and I'm recording this audio on my new computer.
Alrighty. Audio hiss. That audio hiss is terrible. Going back to the first email, the first voice submission, your noise doesn't sound like that, so you're golden. This is a hiss that is a problem. This noise floor is unacceptable. You didn't disclose exactly how you're connecting your microphone to your computer. I am assuming you're connecting it over the computer's built-in 3.5 millimeter microphone input. That's your problem. I hate to say it, that is going to be your problem. 99.9% of built-in microphone inputs on computers are absolute trash. They have the interference from all of the other components in the computer that aren't properly shielded. Leads to a bunch of issues. The preamp is trash as well. It's not going to be a good solution. If on your last computer you were able to plug directly into the mic input and not have that noise, your last computer was an anomaly. That is a very rare instance, and I don't know how you're doing it. The only solution that I really have is to get a USB audio interface, a Focusrite, a Behringer, something affordable will yield 100 times better sound than that. That is atrocious. I am sorry I can't give you advice that is cheaper. You could always just drop it into Audacity and use the noise removal, learn the noise profile, reduce that, but then you're going to have that noise whenever you're actually speaking. Unfortunately, no better and no cheaper options short of buying a USB audio interface, which is the only real way that I recommend connecting microphones now. Hopefully that helped you. Sorry, and this was months ago. Maybe you've already solved it. Let me know in the comments if you're listening or watching this. Did you solve this? What was the solution that you did? We have another voice submission, this time from Germany. Take it away, good sir.
Hi, Bandrew. This is Ingmar from Germany, and I have 2 questions for you. First, I've purchased 3 microphones so far, the Rode PodMic, the Behringer XM8500, and the Behringer SB-238A. I would like to hear your opinion on what you think is the best microphone suited for my voice, and I'm currently speaking into the Rode PodMic. I have now switched to the Behringer XM8500, and my second question is, what do you think about Marco Arment's podcasting microphones mega review and his assessments? I find it interesting that he's preferring the Shure Beta 87A and ranks the SMB quite low for podcasting. I have now switched to the Behringer SB-78A. I'm running these microphones through my Steinberg UR44 USB interface, and for the Rode PodMic I'm using a Fathead, which is connected directly to the microphone. And I will send you the unedited audio. Thank you, bye.
Thank you very much for the voice submission. I appreciate you very, very much. Great questions, and greeting from the States, by the way. First question was, which microphone sounds best on his voice, the PodMic XM8500 or SB78A? I think it's between the PodMic and the SB78A. The PodMic, it was clear. You could hear exactly what you were saying. It didn't have any issues in the low end. The low end was a little bit attenuated, wasn't muddy, wasn't too dark, nice, clear, and easy to understand what you're saying. XM8500, more of a dark sound to it. The proximity effect really comes into play there. And then you got the SB78A. I think that was a mix between the two. It had a little bit more clarity like the PodMic, but it also had a little bit more of the low end from the XM8500, but a bit smoother than the other two. That's my take. I don't know if you want the hyper clear version of the PodMic or the smoother sound of the SB78A. Either, I think, any of the mics really are perfectly workable. You could easily use the XM8500, throw on a high-pass filter, and be good to go. Of the three, for ease of use, if you just want to plug and play, I'd go PodMic, but if I wanted to play around with it a little bit more in post, I would go SB78A. Hopefully that answers the question. Then you ask thoughts on Marco Arment's podcast mic review. If anybody is interested in his microphone review ranking, I will link it in the episode notes. And he ranked the SM7B low and recommended the Beta 87 as number 1. First off, I love that he included the Neumann KMS 105. I absolutely love this microphone. It is an incredible handheld condenser microphone, one of my all-time favorites. And I need to add this to my favorite XLR microphone article. Great sounding microphone. I agree with him on that. Secondly, I am not sure that I agree with a lot of his rankings. I guess I have different ears. I guess I have different preferences because he ranked the Telefunken M82 at number 10. I really dislike that microphone. I dislike that microphone a lot. So seeing that as number 10 is a bit of a shocker for me to see that ranked so highly. But third, I don't necessarily agree with his justification on the conclusion for the SM7B, and I'll tell you exactly why. Based on his write-up, he ranks it so low for 2 reasons, because it's quiet and it picks up a lot of background noise. In terms of the quietness or the sensitivity of the microphone, the 7B has a sensitivity of -59 dB, the Electro Voice RE20 a sensitivity of -56.5 dB. That's a difference of 2.5 dB. Yes, it is quieter than the RE20, but the RE20 is ranked number 3 on the list. The SM7B ranked 17, if I'm remembering correctly. So does 2.5 dB in sensitivity mean it's 14 less? 14 less? I don't think so. I don't think 2.5 dB makes the world of a difference in terms of preamp noise. If the issue is, oh no, I don't like preamp noise because dynamic microphones are quiet, there should be no dynamic microphones near the top of your list, yet number 3 is the RE20. He also ranks it low because he says it picks up a lot of background noise, and he ranked the Blue Yeti at number 8 on his list. The Blue Yeti, a notorious microphone for picking up everything in the room that you're recording in. I don't think that the SM7B performs worse at background noise rejection than the Blue Yeti. The Blue Yeti picks up everything. And because of those two things, I don't necessarily agree with the justification for the ranking. I won't disagree with his ranking because that's his personal preference. I will say this. I do agree that the microphone does not sound good on his voice. I don't think it's a good sounding microphone for him, but I also think that there are significantly worse sounding microphones on his voice that are ranked significantly higher than the 7B. And I guess that's the amazing thing about audio, the fun thing about audio. What I like, you may hate. What you like, I may hate. And the world will continue to turn. Guess what? The microphone you choose to use has 0 impact on me. That's the bottom line. One thing we both can agree on, the Neumann KMS 105 an amazing handheld condenser microphone. So Marco, here's my hand reaching out in, I don't know, in peace. Here's a peace offering. Let's shake our KMS 105s at each other. The Kill Myself 105s. There you go. Okay. I probably just burned that bridge. Sorry, Marco. Let's jump to the last voice submission.
Hey Bandrew, how's it going? It's Roger again. If it's not too much trouble, I really wanted to get a little confirmation from you. You see, I've been using the Samsung Q2U for almost 4 years now, and honestly, it still works perfectly and it sounds really well. However, I thought it was about time to upgrade my setup and I bought a second generation Scarlett 2i 2. It sounds amazing and I think it sounds better than it used to. However, I wasted like an hour trying to understand what I was doing wrong and why my microphone wasn't working before realizing that it actually was. It was just the LED light that wasn't working. It turned on again when I plugged it back in the USB setting, so I was just wondering, is it like that for everyone, or could it be that either my microphone or my interface is defective? I really hope this message finds you well. It was kind of rough for me seeing you so affected a few hours ago. And I just wanted to remind you, you have a great community here and we have your back if you ever feel like talking about it. Have a great day, Bandrew. See you.
Alrighty. Thank you very much for the very kind words. I appreciate that. Really does mean a lot to me. To answer the question, when you connect the Samsung Q2U to your XLR USB audio interface, the LED light on the Q2U does not light up, and you're asking, is that an issue with your interface or with the Q2U, or is that normal? That is completely normal. The LED light, the headphone amp, all of the electronics inside of this thing are powered via USB. When you're connecting over XLR, it becomes a dumb microphone. It is the same thing as an SM58, a capsule running straight out to the XLR output. You're not even sending it any power over the XLR cable unless you have phantom power turned on, which you should not have turned on, and therefore there is no power to actually turn on the LED light. So your microphone is not faulty. Your interface is not faulty if you're plugging your Q2U in over XLR and the LED light on the microphone is not turning on. That should be expected. There you go. Hopefully that puts your mind at ease. Everything is functioning as it should. Best of luck to you on your recording. And what an amazing story. 4 years with a Q2U and it's still functioning for you. What a great $50 spend. That is incredible. That reminds me of the SM58. There are people who buy it in 1990 and they're still using it 30 years later. That's an incredible $100 purchase. How many items can you buy and use 4 or 5 years later, 10 years later, or 30 years later? Sure, and I guess the Q2U for 4 years so far. We'll see how it goes in another 5. And I think that's going to wrap up for today. I appreciate you all for coming by. I hope you have an amazing Thanksgiving if you're in the States. Let me know what you're thankful for in the comments down below. And until next week, I hope you have an amazing Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Next Sunday, I will talk at you. And please be safe. If you're going to hang out with family, do it. If you're going to hang out with family, if you're going to eat turkey, eat it. Who cares? Who cares? Do whatever you want. I'm not your daddy. You do your thing. I will talk to you all next week. I absolutely love you. You are amazing human beings. People find you interesting and fascinating. And bye.
This has been a Geeks Rising production. Your executive producer is Bandrew Scott. For more information, head over to www.geeksrising.com.